it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. In today's video, I am finally doing the video that you guys have been requesting the heck out of this past like 3 months. Today, I am finally sharing how I edit my Instagram photos, how I curate my feed, how I get things to look cohesive, what apps I use, and also how I edit my Instagram stories. If you guys follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you should. Shameless self-plug here. You may have seen me post about presets, hashtag Jess presets, or maybe my spring presets before, but in case you missed it, or maybe you just don't follow me on Instagram yet, my spring presets have finally launched. They are live and available for purchase. I will have a link down in the description box. Last thing before we hop into the video is that there is kind of an episode 1 to this somewhat video series that I'm doing, and that video is all about how to take bomb Instagram pictures and how to get other people to take bomb Instagram pictures of you. Then to continue the series, I will be making a video on pose ideas and also a video on how to take photos by yourself. So if any of that sounds interesting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to join the family and to make sure you don't miss those videos. So let's hop right on in. Alrighty, first things first, what I edit my photos in is an app called Adobe Lightroom. Adobe Lightroom, like other Adobe products, is subscription-based, so to use Lightroom on desktop, you need a subscription to edit on your computer. But a really cool thing that Adobe has actually done, which has been so great, is they've actually made the mobile version free and you don't need a subscription. Also, I would just like to say that this video is not sponsored by Adobe. I have worked with them before, but this video in particular is not sponsored. So just so you guys know, I just happen to use exclusively only Adobe products for everything because I like Adobe products, so that's that. The reason I use and love Lightroom so much versus any other photo editing software is I love just how in-depth and detailed you can get with photo editing, how much you can change, how much you can play with, how creative you can get. A little pro tip for you guys, editing photos works the best on raw photos, usually a DSLR. You can also take raw photos on some point and shoots. I'm probably not going to explain this as precisely or concisely as photography experts, but basically to really boil down what a raw photo is, it's basically a type of way that a photo is taken where it captures all of the data possible in the photo that you've taken. When you take the photo, it's going to come out very dull and desaturated and it's not going to look that great. But the beauty of a raw photo, like I said, is it captures all of those details so that later when you toss the photo into editing software, you can pull out all of those colors, beauty, and everything that was captured in that photo out. Raw photos are meant to be edited. They're meant to have the colors pulled out. They're meant to be edited so they pop. If you guys are interested in learning more about raw photos and all of the details and information about that, I'll link some resources below because I know I'm not going to do the full justice, but I just wanted to give you guys a little overview and idea of what a raw photo is and why it's so great to shoot in that. The way I curate my Instagram feed and get everything to look cohesive and look good with each other and kind of like match, even though the photos are all completely different, taken in different times of the day, different places, different color temperatures, is by using these presets. The presets that I've developed that I'm using now work for a variety of different lighting conditions and different times of day and temperatures to all get that same kind of pink, warm look that I have on my Instagram feed. They're basically the same kind of edits on every single photo, but each preset is adjusted for different times of day, different color temperatures, different weather even, so I have a lot of variety with them. If you guys don't know what presets are, they're basically custom filters that live within Lightroom. The Lightroom user can develop to streamline the process of editing. Essentially, when I say that I've launched my presets, basically I'm saying that I have been developing presets for the last couple months. They're just custom filters that I have developed based on my own photos and how I like to edit, that I've been using to edit all my photos, which is how I've gotten my specific Instagram look of a very warm and pinky type of feed. And all of those photos are edited with my presets. I felt like that all kind of needed explanation because I don't think people really explain presets or why they're used or what they're used for. Now that I've told you guys about what I use to edit and why I use it, and also a little bit about presets, which I thought was really important because I don't think anybody ever really explains presets, let's get into the actual editing process. Alrighty, so this is the first photo we're going to be working with. This is just a photo my husband and I shot a while ago. It's one of my favorites. I just love the colors in here. I love my outfit and I just really like the picture. So the first thing I always start off doing is I go to my presets. So down here in the bottom right hand corner are my presets, and I have quite a bit in here, but the specific presets that I'm using right now in my style of editing are my spring presets, and the one I'm going to be throwing on here today is Palm Springs. Now I know it's Palm Springs because I already tested all of them out and I know that Palm Springs works best on this photo. Okie dokie, there we go, Palm Springs. So as you guys can see, with one click I already have pretty close to my final edit. I love how this preset looks on this photo. So a couple things I find myself consistently adjusting when I apply a preset. One, exposure. I do notice that the photo is a little bit dark around the edges. Brighten that up a bit. So I'm just going to drag the exposure slider up. And I like how that looks. Then usually I have to also adjust the temperature slider a little bit. That is right here. I'm just gonna tweak it a bit. As you guys can see, adjusting it does make it a bit warmer. Final thing you usually will have to change is the orange saturation and luminance. Now, everybody's skin tone is different. There will never be a specific preset or filter that will work for every kind of skin tone or skin type. In this photo with these specific lighting conditions, I noticed that my skin is really orangey, so we're just going to bring that orange saturation down and bring that luminance up. And there we go, that is the final edit of the photo, and let's see a before and after. Before, after. I love how this photo looks. I think it turned out so good. Let's do another one. Okay, this is another great example. This is one of the ones I'm using as an example of another preset. It's called Hibiscus. So let's reset to original. So here is the original photo, and just the same as the other photo, I've already edited and posted this photo, so I know what preset looks best on it already, and that preset is called Hibiscus. Now, for me, that is a one-click edit. There's nothing I really want to change about this. If anything, I might bring down the exposure just the teeniest bit, just because it is a little bright. But other than that, I think this is a pretty much a one-click edit. I think it looks great. And for a before and after, here we are before, and here it is after. So Hibiscus is a very subtle edit. It just kind of makes everything a little bit brighter, pop a little bit more, and offers kind of that warmer color temperature that I like to have on my feed. So this will be our final photo edit. I am going to reset this one to the original picture format, back to the raw photo, take off all the edits, and this is what it looked like before I had all the edits I put on. I'm gonna go back down to presets, and I actually don't remember what the preset that I had on this was. I think it was either Bloom or Breeze. I don't know, I like both actually. I think both look really cute. Maybe it's Sandy Cheeks, I don't remember. This is a great example of a photo looking cool. So when I put this preset on, it made it such a cool temperature, and like, I don't like how this looks. So if I was going to stick with this preset, I would definitely slide the temperature over pretty far over to the right. And as you guys can see, just sliding over the temperature greatly improved how that photo looked from that to that. And I just did one little edit. Now I think I'm just gonna warm it up a little bit more. I think I'd probably bring down the exposure just a tad bit. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, it's so just easy and quick to edit with presets. It streamlines editing so much. There are so many little edits within this preset that just completely change the look of a photo. And just by adding that one preset and then adjusting a couple minor things like temperature, exposure, saturation, you can completely change the look of a photo that typically would take, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes of editing and tweaking and trial and error. Let's take a look at a before and after. Before, after. Ooh, the colors. I love the colors in this one. I think it looks so good. And yeah, so that is how I edit in Lightroom and how easy it is to use presets. So that is how I've been editing my Instagram photos. I pretty much only ever use my presets just because it makes my process of editing so much quicker. And because I like this very specific kind of photo look, I always do the same kind of edits to get that specific look, and having those edits just saved as a preset, as a custom filter to just throw onto any photo, just makes editing so much easier and just streamlines the whole process of editing for me and really give you that cohesive, curated Instagram feed look. Now, if you guys are not into the whole preset kind of thing, I wanted to share a couple quick editing tips and basics that you can very easily do to a photo that can completely transform the look and vibe of your photo. Number one, exposure. Now, to really simplify it, exposure is basically how bright or dark a photo is. Again, that's just really simplified, but bringing up the exposure can really change up your photo, especially if it's taken somewhere where it's dark, photo's backlit. For example, if you take a photo against a sunset or a bright light, or maybe the photo was taken in the shade and you just can't see yourself. Brighten that photo up using exposure and it'll make all the difference. Number two, temperature. I think temperature is such an underrated piece of editing. Temperature is how warm or cool a photo is. If you ever take a photo and it looks really blue, that means the temperature of that photo is really cool. And if you take a photo where it's really yellow or orange, that means the photo's really warm. So by adjusting the temperature, you can find a really nice kind of spot along the temperature spectrum where it's not at one of the extremes. Number three, vibrance. not to get confused with saturation, which makes people kind of look orangey and also just like really extreme in certain cases, but vibrance kind of gives the same concept of saturation without the extremes. Vibrance basically makes everything pop, but in the best way possible. It just brings up all the colors in a photo to make them vibrant. It makes everything pop, it makes everything look rich and colorful without being extremely saturated. Number 4, contrast. Contrast just gives a little bit more dimension and again makes things pop just a little bit more. With contrast, you have to be kind of subtle with it because contrast does usually have quite an effect on a photo, so just move it along very gently along the slider. And number 5, sharpness. Sharpness is basically going to just sharpen up any photo that is a little bit blurry, or maybe it's just a little soft. Maybe you had a fingerprint on your camera on your phone photo, it's a little smudgy. Add a little sharpness to that photo and it's going to immediately help you. If you're just getting into photo editing and you just want some simple things you can do to level up a photo, those 5 things are going to be a great foundation of a place to start for editing some awesome photos. Now for actually curating my feed and ensuring that everything looks cohesive and good together on my Instagram feed, the app I use is called Unum. U-N-U-M. Using Unum, you can plan your feed, you can upload, I think there's like 18 or 19, maybe 20 photos you can upload in advance. You can play around with your photo placement and see what looks good next to each other, whether it's poses or certain photos or lighting things. I don't know, you can really get creative and really plan and curate a great feed. From the app, you can also save your captions on each photo, you can schedule your posts, so if you want to post, I don't know, at noon, but maybe you have class or work, you just schedule your post on Unum and then it'll post it for you with the caption and the hashtag that you have saved. It's really nice, it's really efficient, and it's going to ensure that if you are trying to like grow a brand or post consistently, it's going to ensure that you do that. Now this is a question that I get all the time from you guys on how I edit my Instagram stories. There's one app that I mainly use. It is called Unfold. It's what most people on Instagram use to level up their Instagram stories and make them look more stylized. I think you get 2 free kind of template packs where each template pack has like 5 or 6 different ways that you can design your Instagram story. There are additional packs that you can purchase, I think for 99 cents each. Okay, and I find them to be great investments because it's only $1, and by far the coolest and best templates in my opinion are the ones that you have to pay $1 for. But with these little template packs, you can upload your photos, make little collages and fun ways of presenting your photos and videos versus just uploading them natively onto your Instagram story. Using these little story templates are just a fun way to level up your content and bring some fun and style to it, and I don't know, just kind of like change things up. That is a wrap on today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that if you guys have been wondering how I edit my Instagram photos or just how to kind of get started with editing and get into it, and maybe just some like easy tips and tricks you can do to start bumping up the quality of your photos or maybe curate an Instagram feed. I hope you guys got a little something from this video. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, very briefly, my presets are now live. My spring presets that I have been working on for maybe like 3 months, 4 months. I don't know, I've been working on them for a while. I went through so much testing and trial and error and figuring out the perfect like combination that I really resonate with and love the style of. I even asked you guys to send in photos of yours for me to edit, test these presets out, get them perfect, try them on different skin tones and photo types and things that photos were shot on. So many of you guys sent in amazing photos and I had such a great time editing them. I think periodically I do want to have you guys send in photos for me to edit and just kind of play around with and just like edit them for you guys because 1, that's fun for me, and 2, I can show you guys how my presets work on different photos. I most likely would be sharing that on my Instagram, so if you do have an Instagram, definitely follow me on there. And if you guys are interested in purchasing my presets, I will have those linked below, and don't forget to use that discount code 20% off with the code YouTubeFam. And if you guys do purchase my presets and you post photos using my presets, please use the hashtag JessPresets so I can see them and repost them and share them and comment and hype you up. And yeah, I would just like love to see you guys using my presets because that's cool. So yeah, thanks guys. If you purchase them, I will love you forever and you're amazing, and thanks. Okay. Ooh, okay. I just found a really good quote that completely like overshadows the last quote I had picked out. So today's new quote of the day says, instead of waiting for fear to subside, make it your friend. Because when you've got a vision, you don't have time to wait around for your fears to vanish before you start moving. It's a good one, guys. So think on that as we go into the week. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
What my dream like? What? Blind man with a keen sight. I'm just trying to get my green right. Funny how the wrong things always seem right, but never mind on the clean night. Kid go cool. Watch them pole vault over dark skies as exercise. I told y'all don't be a menace. You ain't low, dog. My flow alls on them nightly shows. Tom Brokaw.